new Bigfoot mug.
Okay, future Chad going to talk to past Chad to talk to present you. Two things. Number one, I got a beard I like a lot. One time I had somebody in a comment on YouTube and I tried to find it, I couldn't find it. They told me to shave because I looked like a burly mountain man. My response to the comment was, well, what if that's what I'm going for? But anyway, I filmed this video wearing a t-shirt, put the microphone, I don't normally put the microphone, and there's some beard noise in this video. And I thought about reshooting it, but the energy and the vibe was just so absolutely solid. I don't want to reshoot the video. So you're gonna hear some beard noise. Second thing is this. I've got an email list that goes out every single Monday that's full of 7 pieces of my favorite content that I've read, listened to, watched, that sort of thing throughout the week. And I'd love to send it to you. The link to that email is in the bottom of the description here. 100% free, another just cool way to engage with all the random things that are going on in my mind. So future Chad is gonna go back to past Chad, so can talk to present you. Thanks so much for watching.
What's up, guys? I'm Chad Brooks. I'm a pastor here in North Louisiana, and I like to make videos about the Bible, about the devotional life, and just the everyday goings on as a pastor. And today, I want to talk with you about my 2022 Bible. Now, I don't normally shoot in the evenings here at the office, but I'm filming this the week of Christmas. And if you ever worked in a church, or you work in a church, or you go to a church, y'all, this is the busiest week of the year, but I wanted to come in and talk about my 2022 Bible. Now, for the last few years, I've been doing a project where I use one Bible for the full year. Until this year, I've always used the Cambridge Wide Margin Hardback English Standard Version. I call it the Turkey Buzzard because the fancy $300 leather ones, they fold open and they look like an eagle, and this is just kind of a sturdy, large format thing. So the Turkey Buzzard. And as in my last video, and I'll pop a link to that up here, I've decided to move off of the English Standard Version of the Bible, and I'll talk about my reasons for it in there. But the only problem is, and I've always talked about why I used the ESV but didn't necessarily like the ESV. And the only problem that I came was when I knew I wanted to switch off of that translation, I knew that this Bible meant that it was off limits. And I had a couple of qualifications of things I wanted. Number one, it needed to be a wide margin Bible of some sort. Number two, it needed to be hardback. I prefer hardback Bibles. I don't destroy them. And third, it needed to be inexpensive enough for me to continue justifying my one Bible in a year project. And the translation, it was also, I thought, okay, this has to be a translation that fits some of my larger criteria, which means it has a balanced translation team that's from kind of a wider understanding of Christianity, not such a narrow subset. But then also, I wanted it to be able to preach well. I wanted it to just be a good middle of the road translation. Now, I love the New Living Translation. That's my absolute favorite translation of the Bible. I need to make that video one day and finally talk about the New Living Translation. And the New Living Translation has a couple of wide margin options, but I'm not that big of a fan of them. In fact, I'll grab a couple right now. So I've used this Bible. I actually really hashed out my Bible notation system using this Bible. Let me see if this is just the Reflections Bible New Living. I'll open up to Deuteronomy, where I've done a lot of note-taking and a lot of work inside of it. And so, I mean, you get a good picture of what this looks like. And for me, but what I found out was, this Bible really isn't big enough. This is a pretty small-ish Bible. The print's good, the margins. I kind of got spoiled rotten with the double column layout with the English Standard Version hardback with the Turkey Buzzard. And so this Bible just, I liked it a lot, and I love the translation, but it just did not fit and flow. And then I picked this bad boy up. This is kind of like a straight clone of the ESV's journaling Bible. And it's the exact same one I found out when I got it home. It's the exact same one as the insides of that. It just has this mole skene, or whatever you want to say, cover. Now, here's the thing. Finding these bad boys right now is a little hard. So I've got a couple of them, but I knew this format just wouldn't work. I'm going to put in the overhead rig the difference between the Turkey Buzzard and the the wide margins on the New Living Translation. So as much as I love the New Living Translation, this Bible just wasn't going to do it for me. So I started going down a rabbit hole because I remember at one point in time swearing I saw a New American Standard and an NIV Bible in the more modern Cambridge Wide Margin Reference Edition. But I could not find them anywhere. And when I could find them, they were $175, $180. And that kind of took me out of my other plan. And then a couple of years ago, I remember when Cambridge, the bookshop, actually came out with a Facebook post and says, we have a very small handful of New Revised Standard Version wide margin Bibles that were leather bound, and we're going to sell them for, I think it was $50 US. And it was one of those lines like, you need to call the bookshop, which is in England, and reserve your copy by X. And I called that morning, and they had no more of the red ones left, but I ordered the black one. I paid for it. Also, side tip, I love the NRSV. So please, like, if you're going to go troll down in the comments below, at least make it interesting, okay? I love the NRSV. And if I could find an NRSV in the Cambridge Wide Margin, I might throw the coin down for one of the Eagle versions of those. But I got that Bible in a couple of years ago, and I noticed, like, wow, this looks nothing like the Turkey Buzzard. This is a thin Bible, and it has the double columns, but it wasn't there. And I remembered that Bible. I actually gave it to a friend of mine. It was a nice, fancy black Bible, and I realized that I'll probably never use this thing, so I was saving it for a special occasion. And a good friend of mine won, and he's the mayor of my town now. So I gave it to him when I prayed for him at his inauguration. So a few months back, I started doing my research. I started going to eBay. I started going to Abe Books, these kind of backwater places, because I was finding Cambridge Wide Margin hardbacks that seemed really cheap in the $20, $30 range. And so the first one I ordered was a New Revised Standard, and lo and behold, I got this. It's a hardback, but it's thin. Let's hold this up to the Turkey Buzzard, and you can see, like, do y'all see that? It's the same size, but it's significantly thinner. And I realized this is just the hardback version of the Bible that I got a friend of mine. Now we open this up, it looks super cool. And also I'm gonna do a different video on all these rando hardback wide margins I've found. But it's cool, it's double column, but it doesn't have any cross references. But there was a thing that was just, I could not get behind it. And I'll show you in a little bit what my solution was. So I found that. Couldn't cut the mustard, paid like $25 for it. I don't think it's ever been used. It's pretty. Man, I like that color. That's kind of part of the hardback. It's nice like that. So then I found a new international version that was the same thing, and it was $20, $25. And I thought, you know what? Let's order that and see what that one looks like. I might have just found somebody who did not know what they had, and it was going to be a Turkey Buzzard. And so I'll show you what comes in. Huh, look at that. Same thickness as the Turkey Buzzard. Then also same size as the Turkey Buzzard. And it's a new international version, and it's in red. Like, look how snazzy that looks. And then I opened it up and I saw it has some center column references. The print's a little bit different, and I'm super stoked. So I start flipping around. What was also cool in this Bible is it was previously owned, but it was not used. There's no underlining, there's no highlighting, nothing like that in it. But y'all, there was just absolute tons of apherma inside of this Bible. Just like the kind of cool stuff, like folks leaving their Bible. It was really sweet. I actually found a poem that kind of like got me to my heart a little bit when I was thinking about it. But as I'm looking through this and I'm sitting here and I got these Bibles, and there was one problem, is that I fell in love with the back of the Turkey Buzzard, with the all of the note pages that are on there, and with all of the index that's built into it. Because when I look back through my previous Bible in 1 years, that's kind of turning into my favorite part, is the fact that I've got this index, I've got this places for like sermon ideas and all sorts of things. And I started realizing, like, I don't want to give that up. So I started researching what it would be like to send one of these older Cambridge hardbacks to one of the places that binds library books, or if you write a dissertation or a master's thesis, or that sort of thing. Like, will they be willing to add pages into the back of it for me and then rebind the whole thing? And I realized at that point in time, A, I wouldn't have it here by January 1st, but two, it was breaking my rule of being like cheap and inexpensive. It was becoming cost prohibitive to do this experiment, and I was kind of thinking I was going to have to, because I could find some extra pages, or I was like, I can carry a journal around with me, all these sorts of things, but I just didn't want to do it. And then one night about 2 weeks ago, I go on a quest, and I'm back in the Amazons, I'm back in the Googles. I know I had seen NIV hardback wide margin reference editions. And I just wanted to try to see if I could find one for 70, 80 bucks. I'd be willing to split the coin. And lo and behold, I found out that Cambridge had just started publishing a new NIV wide margin reference edition. Now, they didn't have it listed under all of the other things. And here's the thing. This is it. It has a cover that looks like an 8th grade earth science textbook. It's like the kind of Bible you get in middle school. But I started looking at the measurements. That's how nerdy I got. I started looking at the measurements, and I realized, like, hey, y'all, you know what? This thing's the same size as a turkey buzzard. Same thickness as a turkey buzzard. Same size. Started looking to get really, really interesting, and I couldn't find, this Bible was so new, there wasn't any inside shots or gut shots, so I didn't know what the page layouts looked like, and I didn't know, and I found like tiny weird little details on different websites, like off of Amazon in Cambridge, that made me believe that this had the insides that I wanted to, and lo and behold, y'all, I just ordered it. It was like $35 on Amazon. There'll be a link below to this. I ordered it, I kept my fingers crossed, and it came in the mail, and I got so excited, and I opened it up, and the first thing I looked to was not in the Bible section. I turned to the back, and I found the nice Cambridge note papers that are in there that I like so much. I found the Cambridge indexes that are so nice. I flipped over into the Bible portion, and I'll tell y'all what Cambridge did, I think, was they took their old one of these they were making, and they repackaged it, gave it the earth science textbook cover. And guys, it's a turkey buzzard. Like, it's a straight turkey buzzard. My only beef with this thing is, and Jason Mayfield, if you're watching this, we're gonna share the beef, because the letters of Jesus are red. Don't troll me, y'all. Like, don't do the troll thing right now. When I sold Bibles, I would get in arguments with people over they wanted the letters of Christ in red. Like, they thought that was a thing that came down from the Apostle Paul. I also almost got fired one time because someone asked me for the Bible that the Apostle Paul read, and my answer was, I'm sorry, we're fresh out of scrolls today. Don't do that in Christian retail. But anyway, the letters of Christ are in red, which are cool. I get it for my markup strategy and for what that looks like. It's a little difficult, but hey, I can live with that. The only two things I can complain about in this Bible are the letters of Christ in red and the 8th grade earth science look. And I can do something about that. I'm about to do that in a little bit. But this is my 2022 Bible. I am, just super excited to have this. This is what it is. This is a turkey buzzard. It's a turkey buzzard in disguise. It's a sleeper turkey buzzard, and it's even cheaper than this is. I want to say these are normally around $50, and I think I paid $35, maybe $39 for this. And so if you're looking for an inexpensive Cambridge Wide Margin Reference Edition, y'all, this is it. This is it. And I'm so excited to do this. I'm excited about it. So this is what I'm going to do to fix the earth science, because these are tools for me. If you've not figured out by now, I kind of don't have the sacredness that some people would want to assume with Bibles. And so I'm about to pop up my overhead rig again. And I've got a bag full of stickers, and I'm going to just completely cover this in stickers so it does not look like an 8th grade or the science textbook, and you'll be able to see that. But hey, what would if you've ever been on a Bible quest, I want you to pop that down into the comments. I want to hear about that. If you like content like this, make sure to subscribe, follow the channel, share with your friends, thumbs up, that sort of thing. I'll have another video coming out later on before the new year where I kind of give my review of the 2021 version of just having one Bible and living in one Bible world. So I'm Chad Brooks. It's awesome to have you on the channel, and we're about to put some stickers on the new turkey buzzard.